Bro, hi, thanks for coming. Can you please record the session? Sure, sure, sure. Thank you, thank you. Um, Hi, people. I have shared a PDF, like a Word document in the group. So what I want to talk to you in this session, everything is there in that. Hi. If you want, you can download that. Actually, Chahit suggested me to do this. Um, yeah, Rahul.
Yeah. So I have to leave in like maximum like 12 to 13 minutes. Okay.
Sure.
Now, uh, just I'll give you a bit of background about like a few things that I have been doing. Okay. So I have been using Anki for almost 7 years now. Okay.
Damn.
And I have used it for many different purposes, many different things. At one point, when I did not know Anki existed, I even created my own Anki. I did not know at that point. So, like, I'm a very, very strong believer of this entire process and the way it is supposed to work. And when I started studying for UPSC, I have customized Anki, the way cards have to be created to some extent, the way it should look to, in a sense, fit the need of the exam. Like I haven't given the exam yet. My first try is going to be next year. But uh, like I look at PYQs, I make cards based on that. Test series are going fine. So I think it's okay. Like, so the disclaimer is yes, I haven't given the exam myself yet, but I have spent a lot of time using this software. So I can talk about that.
Sure, sure. Go
Yeah.
ahead, Rahul.
Okay, so if you want to record, I'll quickly start talking about these things. Actually, I'll present my screen to show a few things here and there. Okay,
Sure,
so
sure.
as the questions that Mahesh has sent, first talking about shortening the revision schedule. It actually does not shorten the revision schedule. It gives you pointers when to revise instead of shortening the revision schedule. There are settings that allow you to do cramming, let's say right before an exam or right before like a couple of days before the exam, but it doesn't shorten it. It actually elongates it. It's the other way around.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay.
Actually, Rahul, I want to tell you and for everybody, whatever I have mentioned, I have collected from the group itself, from the members who have actually posted their messages in the group itself. Even it includes you as well, Rahul. And I have
Yeah.
collected few of the messages from Ram, Mentalist, DJ, NPS, everyone, Harsh, everyone. Yeah, continue.
Yeah. If you have any questions, raise your hand and we can take questions based on that.
Sure.
Okay. Second, you don't have to read everything in Lakshmikant for revision. The algorithm picks what you're forgetting and read the easy ones out. That is very true. So when I was studying Lakshmikant actually, and I made a lot of notes from it, I was only picking up things that I did not remember that well, and it pushed out the things away that I was able to recall. Okay, so this is a very good thing, but it has to be clubbed. Like your Anki settings have to be in the right manner to actually make this happen. But because if you don't have the right settings, this will not happen. I'll cover the settings later. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Of course, you should also suspend the cards personally. Yes, but suspend the cards which you think are either too easy. Okay, if you have clicked easy on any card, that card should not exist. Basically, that's the agenda. Okay, and or you want to revisit the card sometime later, but you have created it. That's when you suspend it. Otherwise, don't suspend it. It beats the purpose of it. You might feel the resistance when initially there are large number of cards, but yeah. Now this actually I'll talk about a bit. So in Anki, I'll actually open my Anki here. If you see in Anki, there are these three columns, okay? There is new, there is learn, and there is due. I won't get into the definitions very like a lot right now, but at the end of the day, let's say the day that you're finishing your studying, new can still be there because these are the cards you've never seen. Okay, so it's fine because you're still learning those and you're yet to even see them what actually they entail. But due should always be zero because these are the cards based on the algorithm that you should be able to recall as of today. And if you're not able to recall it today, it should go back in the learn category. Okay, so when you say it gets overwhelming, it actually gets overwhelming. Where did the doc go? Yeah, because we are trying to do everything. No, do new cards when you have the time. So like how I see it is that there is knowledge which you do not know yet. There is knowledge which you know, but you're not able to recall. Focus on the latter because you will keep forgetting that. You will keep putting new things in your brain without actually being able to retain the second part. And that is the main point of Anki. Whatever you have studied should actually stay in your head, not the other way around. This is again very true. Revisiting old books is too time consuming. Anki makes it a lot easier. Starting with your easiest deck to ease into it, that depends on the cards that you have created. Are they actually easy cards? Otherwise, like this will not happen. These two things I do not know about. It's better late than never to start Anki. That is very true. You can start at any time. See, you don't have to put everything in it. If you're confident about a specific subject or specific like topics altogether, just let them be the way they are. And only put things that you are actually, let's say, forgetting a lot. Or only put things that are difficult to remember to be like, hey, listen, I always forget this thing. I do not know how to recall this better. Or different frameworks of studying. So put those. You don't have to put everything in Anki. Like why to put everything in Anki? Like I'll show you my cards. Sometimes I make cards and I'm like, you know what, this is too basic. I brainstorm it later when you're writing the thing. Don't make a card for it. So not everything has to go in Anki. Don't go with that process. And then how many cards should you make? Do not make cards you won't revise for the first time right then and there. Yeah, that's true. If you're actually, if you know you'll be revising, only then you put it, otherwise let it be. Then you're talking about, yes, this is very, very true, but this is a huge page. This page takes hours to read. Okay. So the only thing I'll say out of this page is make small cards. Let everything else be. Yes, Mahesh.
Actually, Schrodinger mentioned this just a
Yeah.
while ago. A big thanks to
I
him.
think, hey, Aristotle, it's like just 20 pointers by Peter Wozniak, the guy who created the algorithm. So I think
Got
everyone
you.
should give it a read. It's just like 20 pointers, very subtly explained stuff. Definitely will
Yeah,
help in making cards for the Yankee. Yeah.
that's true. Um, okay, regarding subdecks, so there is a concept of something called interlacing. Okay, uh, the way our paper is going to be there, it's not gonna be like polity first, economics later, or something like that. It's due cards. I'll come to that. Give me 1 minute. Okay, that's the next point. I'm gonna come to that thing. So what happens is like you have one question for polity, the next could be for governance, and the next could be for IR, and so on and so forth in the mains. And in pre also, sometimes they are clubbed, sometimes they're not clubbed. So if you are already going with the thought process of, hey, I'm gonna only do polity or only gonna do economics, it's good for preparing for a test, but not for the main thing. So like in my Anki right now, I have, let's say, one deck for mains, but I'm yet to make more cards. But how I'm going to make it is that when I'm revising mains, I revise all mains content in one go. Although it's bifurcated, if I want to study polity, I can study polity. But if I do not want to, I do mains and I study the entire mains thing in one side, or only GS2 if my GS2 test is coming up. So I'll recommend this structure. Trust me, I've tried many structures. Okay, way too many. This is the best in my opinion. Okay. Now let's talk about, I think creating cards is actually one of the main things that we struggle with and we do not know how to go about it. Now, what I'm going to show you is my opinion. Okay. Like I have of course done a lot of trial and error. I can send you many cards that I've created, thousands of them for almost all subjects, but I deleted at one point all of them. They were not working well for me. Then I came up with a new process, which in my opinion has been very, very good. So I'll actually go through how I create GS2 cards. Okay. I started from the whole process of how I go about it. The first thing I do it, I actually go to, not this, sorry. I go to the PYQ page that forum has. I'm going to pick up the topic for the syllabus. Okay. Like this is the thing that I need to study. And from here, I'm going to read all the questions. I understand none of these when I'm starting out. Actually, let's start with this one because I finished this a couple of days ago. Let's start with comparison of Indian constitution with schemes of other countries. Now you will see that they're talking about British and Indian. So I got one separate dimension that, okay, British and India, India and France, India and US, judicial system of India and UK, France and secularism, all of these. Okay. After I have nailed down these dimensions that I need to study, this I do on pen and paper, then I start making cards. Now, this information is not that readily available in all notes. So I used an AI system to create these pointers. Okay. And this is how finally the cards look like for me. Comparison. So, okay, you saw all the dimensions, right, on the forum page. Then I put the PYQs on the top, keeping the North Star in mind. I copied the PYQs from the polity page of forum. I'm like, okay, so I need to compare and contrast British and India for parliamentary. Okay, parliamentary system. So I make a card on that. India and British on judicial system. Here is a card on that. Now, there was a question saying once a speaker, always a speaker. A couple of, I think it was last year or something. And once a speaker, always a speaker is a British term. So I'm like, okay, if they've asked it earlier in this case, what if they ask the speaker thing tomorrow in a comparison? So I put speaker here. Monarch and president is, again, I saw it in a different, for France, I think. So I thought, why not ask for British? It makes sense. Then I always try to put a intro and conclusion for these things already. That, hey, this is what I need to remember. Basic intros, that similar power and everything. This I got from the AI system. This I got from a model answer. These are enhanced close cards. Okay, I do not make any other cards except image ones, but so I can show you how I make them as well. Where did Anki go? So you go to enhance close. I start with the PYQ. I add the PYQs here. And then I start going each like one by one dimension. So parliamentary, for example, whatever notes I'm going to find online or on actually, I can show you, I got it from the AI system here. Okay. Yeah, for example, there we go. Okay. I ask it to make tables like these. You can actually get tables like these made from the AI tool. And then based on this table, literally this table you see here, which is constitutional basis and everything, I made a Google sheet. First, I copied it there just to be able to copy paste it well, like this. And then that's the same thing that I added here. You see, copy pasted. I didn't do anything special. And then when I'm revising, let's come to that. So when I'm revising, I do not revise just by looking at the card. I actually write basic points on paper so that I'm recalling it well. If not all, then I'm like, okay, I did not recall this well, and I'll recall that thing well again later. Okay. Now, let me cover one last thing. See, this keeps coming up that there is a lot of burden when it comes to Anki reviews. Okay. How to reduce that? Like, is it too much to keep going through each and every one of these cards? It will take a lot of time, right? So that's why this add-on that I developed. Okay, I have a doc, I have a video on this. Like Mahesh has all the links for this one. He can probably send it later again. So see, there is knowledge we learn, which is in ad hoc basis, like trees of a branch. But we also need to remember the tree well. Okay, that's why I created the system of actually having index cards. These. Now, even if I do not recall everything in the card with the information, but these index cards have the broader themes. Okay. So sometimes when I'm studying for my test series, I do not review all the cards. I open this card and I'm like, okay, what all was there, let's say in US comparison? I'll recall 4 points and I'll recall everything inside that. So I'm not reviewing each card. I review only my index cards. Like, Mrunal has that thing in before the thing, or it's
Right,
like,
right.
yeah, or it's like in Lakshmikant, you see those headers, right? For in each chapter, you have headers. Instead of recalling everything inside it, you just on the side, you write the headers and then recall everything from the header from that page. Don't open Lakshmikant again, but recall it from that page itself, the main thing. This saves a lot of time. And I have actually made changes to some add-ons. So if I right click and I do open CID in browser, it actually opens all the cards related to that index for me. No, that's something I wrote. It won't be available. So because I'm like, okay, if I forget one point, I right click and I get all the cards for that one index in one place. So yeah, but otherwise, if not the AI system, I use many different sources. Like for example, you will see, let's say cooperative federalism. This is from Ed Sarthi. Okay, this is from a topper copy. Then something else. So I use many different things to make the right kind of notes that can actually work well. It's not just one AI thing. This is from Lakshmikant. So you'll see like this is from a monthly magazine. This, I don't know where I got it from. This is from Lakshmikant. This is from Lakshmikant. This is from a model answer. So all 4 or 5 different things usually that you need to refer to, I refer to all of them while making these notes. So I do not have to revisit them that much. Like not much will get added to it. If it gets, I'll make a new card on it. Does that make sense? Maybe I went too fast. Sorry, I have to like go that I'm going too fast, but any questions?
It's okay. It's okay. Actually, we are recording this session, Rahul. We'll watch it in 0.5x. Don't worry.
Okay. But does it make sense like why I'm doing what I'm doing, how I'm going about it? Is it
Yeah.
clarity?
Yeah, it's just making sense, but for properly understanding it, we have to go through it once again.
Or like try creating, cards like these for yourself, like with, introductions, conclusions, and like look at model answers, look at monthly magazines, all of these things. And like, see this one for 7th schedule, I found a good introduction from a topper copy. Okay.
Sure.
So I got that here. I have then intro for revisiting 7th schedule. I got it from another topper copy. Okay. Now this I got from Ed Sarthi. This from other 2 different topper copies. Then other topper copies. Yeah.
Sure, Rahul.
Yeah. So let me talk about the topper copy thing, okay, for 1 second. Like,
Yeah, sure.
You see how I'm able to refer to many topper copies? But
Yes,
if you go and download those topper copies, you won't be able to know what is inside them. Like, how do you know which topper copy contains a question on 7th schedule?
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, but the thing is, I solved that problem. Okay, I'll share this. So this is a Google Sheet I have created where I downloaded topper copies from Vision and Forum with
Yeah, hey, Struggle. Sorry to cut you off. Are you Nikhil?
yes, I am. How do you know?
Yes. Yeah, I know, of course. Like people in the Discord, right?
Oh yes, people in Discord. And I shared it, but I realized people don't use it. I've been using it so much, and I'm like, I don't understand
Yeah,
why.
no, it's yeah, it's really helpful.
Yeah, like of all the things that I've actually created for this examination, this is hands down the best thing I've done. I feel like because it's too good. Yes. Go
Sorry,
ahead.
sorry, I misclicked.
Okay, no problem. So as I was saying, like you'll see that I have referred to one intro of 7th schedule here, the other intro for 7th schedule here, and then other points here and everything. But if you go and download topper copies from Vision, right, it is very difficult to figure out which topper copy actually contains what. And then you have so many of them and you refer to them once you've completed the entire syllabus, right? And then you come to them like, hey, listen, this was a good point. This was a good intro. But I'm already so far in my preparation that I cannot really amend my own notes right now. Like, how will I be able to do that? So I solved this problem by having, in a sense, like just-in-time query to understand, hey, I'm studying 7th schedule or I'm done studying 7th schedule. Now I have an intro. Is it good? Is it fine? Can I improve it? Or I have the points, can I improve them further? So what I did, first, I downloaded topper copies from Vision and Forum through 2 different bots. Okay. Then I put all of them on my Google Drive. Then I used another AI program to actually extract questions out of each one of them. So these are the questions from all the topper copies. They are not perfect, but they work well. So if you search for, let's say, 7th schedule, now I know that here this copy actually has a 7th schedule question, which is on the top, first one. You open it, and then you already know that, okay, ideally, actually, I don't do it this way. This is my recommendation, but feel free to ignore it. I look at the question and I've studied this topic and I think, okay, what am I going to write in this one? How am I going to break it? What are the dimensions I am going to come up with when I see a question like this? And since since the test series and Vision and Forum, they give one to many toppers, you actually see how different people approached it. Not one, but multiple approaches. Model answers do not give you that. So you see the same question in 3 different copies sometimes, like federal tensions in India highlight, federal tensions in India highlight. So you were able to see 3 different questions, and then I'm like, okay, I would have answered it this way. Then I see a different approach by the topper. I'm like, I missed it altogether. So you practice that muscle, and then you open it, and it doesn't work on the page. Sorry, but here you go. You have a 7th schedule thing. Now, I got a different one, but yeah, then you copy what you want and you leave whatever you don't have it. So that's how all of these things work.
Sorry to ask you, Rahul, can you able to share it for us? Because it seems like it's very helpful.
I've already shared it actually with people. As Schrodinger mentioned, people in Discord.
I'll send it. I'll send it to you, Mike.
Sorry, I moved the thing. Yeah, but yeah, there you go.
Like it seems very useful. As you pointed out, not many people will recognize the importance of it. Now, as you explained, as such, we'll know.
Yeah. Because when if you pick up anything, right, like at Sarthi notes I have Lakshmikant, I'm like, there is so much to read and understand, and half the time they're not even for the exam actually. Like I can't answer questions based on what is written in these books. But these people are there because they have done that work, right? And I don't have the time to do that work at this point. So I was like, okay, can I actually like create a system where this is easily identifiable for me? So yeah, but yeah, okay, I'll have to go. But yes, thank you for listening to me. Reach out to me if you have any questions. yeah, I can show you, if any of you are PSIR, I can show you how to create my PSIR notes, because for those I've put a lot more effort than this. Like you all of you might know actually, let's say liberalism or any of these, or actually was it this one? So you recall pictures better sometimes. Like this is universal introduction for feminism that I have, which is in my index. And then these are the exponents with their pictures and like their names and which school of thought they belong to. Yeah. So you can be creative with these things.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I have a question to ask.
Yes.
So you mentioned that you are using some AI program to get the questions from the toppers of this. So like,
Yes.
which AI program would you suggest?
So I do not want to overwhelm people about this. I can show you this thing. I actually it was trickier than, trust me, you like I imagined it to be. So I wrote a Go program which is here to open each PDF file from that I have. Like I have about, I think, I don't know, 4,000 topper copies on my laptop. It opened each one of them. It took us, because PDFs don't work well with these AI programs. I realized it a lot later. So first, it's gonna open the PDF. It will extract each page as a JPEG, then upload that JPEG to Google Cloud, then use Gemini to be like, hey, Gemini. So I use Gemini here, and I give a prompt that for each image, extract the question from the thing. And then it's going to extract the question, and I put it in a CSV file. Then that CSV file is what you see in the topper copy. Sorry, on that Google sheet. So it took a while for me to even come up with this idea and then make it work.
Okay. So aren't there any like softwares available online which we can use?
So there's a thing called OCR. I have not ever used it. Probably it can be used. But the problem is actually not that. Problem is the scale of it, right? See, like the number of topper copies, for example, that I have, it's that you can download, right? Now you'll want to have a few. So for example, topper copies here, like look at the number that I have, right? This is for Vision, and then there is for Forum. Like I organize them, by the way, as well. So there's so many of these, right? Now for each one of them, for you to be able to use that software in a scalable manner it was not that easy. Like it took me many tries to get it right. But see, like explore. There is no harm. For all you know, there is a better way to do it than I did. Like I'm sure I messed up some or the other way, because I paid a lot of money to Google for using their AI tools.
Okay.
So
Thanks.
yeah.
Yeah. Like Rahul.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Rahul, can you please share those what do you call that, folders of topper copies, like including the topper's name? Will it be happening?
I realize it's actually not that easily available on the internet, the way it is done. Yeah, I'll do that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, this has forum vision both. Forum ones are by essay, ethics, and GS, up to you to navigate it. This one is by names. This one actually did. Names was too tricky, so I did not do it with names. But you can open it and you will find all ethics questions here. See, the thing is, like, I'll actually tell you not to visit this. Don't go with this. Go through this sheet, because this guidance actually opens that. Any more questions?
Hello.
Yes. Yes, I have. Yes. Yeah, I'll do that. Oh, PSIR has been way more useful than the GS one, trust me. Very good. This is all from Shubha Ranjan, by the way. I did not find any topper copies from any other institute. So there are about 1800 answers here. Okay. Sure. All right. Yeah.
Hello, I have a doubt.
Yes.
I'm just a little new to Anki and all, but I feel like creating cards manually is very time consuming. So is there an AI which I can use where like the PDF or the text is the input and I get Anki cards as the output?
So see, it depends on the prompt actually in that case. So how okay, I can give you a sample. Okay, if you want to, let's say, attempt doing that, up to you to use any AI thing that you want. I use Claude. That's my personal preference. So if you go to add content, like see, this is Western political thought, for example. Okay, these are the notes that I got from someone. Okay, Western political thought. This is PSIR. You do GS, up to you, but try to keep it 15 pages, 20 pages tops. Don't go beyond that. Okay, now let's do a live thing if you want for this. So I have this here. Okay. Or, okay, Critique of Plato's Idealism by Aristotle. So this is a PYQ, all right, that I've typed here on the webpage. So how I go about it is that firstly, I have taken a lot of time to perfect my prompts for these AIs one. So, and they are already written. So I press a button, I'm like, okay, PSIR, I want an essay on PSIR. So it tells me to give me an introduction. It copies the thing here and it tells me to write the entire essay. So first I do the entire essay. See, the approach is going to be different for GS. I can show you the GS one as well. So in GS, what did I study? Speakers' power in Indian Parliament. Okay. So GS, give points for GS. Now I have a prompt which is for GS. I have worked on these so many times that I don't have to really look into them. So if you'll see, this gives you the thing here and examples. Point, example, point, example, point, example. The way you would see, put what in Anki card, what you can replicate in the exam, right? And I write it the way that I can actually replicate it in the exam. So then disqualification of members, Rahul Gandhi case 2023, right?
Nice.
Things like these. So once I have this, I read through it, I copy it and I paste it in Anki. Because this is what you can actually reproduce and you can work with. And if you want to make this fancier, make Anki enhanced close cards. It does that for you. That's it. There you go.
Okay, nice. Thank you.
See, this is
Can I present a different concept that I'm using?
go ahead.
Can I share my screen?
Yeah, I'll stop.
Oh, is my screen visible?
Yeah.
So I'm using this add-on called Anki Brain. Where is it? I mean, I would suggest creating manual card itself, but if you have time crunch, so you need ChatGPT key, and you need to install this Anki Brain add-on too. Then select a document. So I've selected this. So I want to create just for one page. This is page number 27. I mean, you can give whole PDF, but I don't want to load my laptop itself. Page number 27. Just I'm giving this. It will save it as a PDF in my desktop. So I need to give it as an input. Where is it? Yeah. It will start creating everything you want. It'll create, I mean, for now it created 24 from just one paper. You just give it a deck name, just defense I've collected from Sunya is, and then give it a tag, and then add to Anki. It'll automatically create Anki cards. You can browse, you can where this is a different one. One second. Defense. Where is it? So
Shashi, you can sort it out by date also,
yep.
right?
One second, I'm checking where it is.
Left side, yeah. Defense unnecessary. Scroll up. Yeah. Yeah.
So it created like 24. You can go through. I mean, there are only two options available as of now. One is basic and another one is close. You can select any one of those, but this is mainly useful for prelims.
Right.
You can give whole PDF, like you can give whole spectrum. You can do everything you want, but the only thing is it requires ChatGPT's subscription. I mean credits.
Okay.
For example.
So the
Shashi-
Anki Brain is free, right?
Application. I have to tell you about this. So where am I? Which screen? Yep. So Anki Brain, right? Oh yeah, I've been using two screens, so. So this is Anki Brain add-on website itself. So there are two versions of it. So you can directly, you can pay Anki Brain itself, and they'll provide an online version where you can upload a PDF and get all Anki. And there's another version where you can install everything on your computer locally and use your computer resources. I opted for second one, which is I locally installed everything, every ML library and everything. So it takes a lot of computational resources. So And for example, if you want to choose the first one, they'll charge you more. Like you have to pay for platform, you have to pay for the storage prices and ChatGPT. But for if you install it locally, you only have to pay for ChatGPT and ChatGPT API, not actual ChatGPT. You just need to load this balance, and it uses very less. Like, yep.
Shashi, can you please, in another video, we'll have another session also.
Sure.
Can you tell us how to, locally install it, or how much price will it take, and like workflow all around, so that we noobs can understand a little better.
Yeah, even
how
I'm
to
interested
install it.
in knowing this thing. Yeah.
Okay. I can do it, but I can guide someone doing it actually, if you want.
Like, can
So-
you suggest a
so-
YouTube video or something for that matter?
For example, when just install this add-on, and there'll be a tab here called Anki Brain, and it will show you a button called install. Guess I have to share a link then. That's, I mean, okay, that I am running Kali Linux on it. So I belong to cybersecurity. So there are a lot of cybersecurity stuff there. I don't want to disturb that box. Yep, that's what. Yep, someone. Yep. That would be better.
Yeah. We'll do that, Shashi. Thank you
Sure.
so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other person wants to show their workflow? Ranja?
Yeah, hey bro. I'm not
do you want
currently
to show your?
yeah, I'm not currently at my home, so I cannot share the computer screen. But
Alright.
I can share stuff that like general stuff which could be helpful.
Sure.
See, I think what Aristotle shared was majorly with respect to the preparation of mains, right? And the Anki Brain add-on, with that you can create closed text and front and back simple like cards. And I have been using Anki for more than a year, as I told you earlier, just a little over 1 year, and majorly for prelims point of view. So like single data fact, as I told you, like simple things. When did India get independence? When was the constitution adopted? When was it? All those stuff. So I've been using that kind of facts. And like, I don't know if I'm going to make it till mains that I'll have to use it for that. But I've been just sticking to prelims point of view. And for that, like, it's been super, super helpful. And I suggest like everyone do what Aristotle said, like whatever he showed with respect to for mains. I don't know if I'll be able to make such detailed cards. I'm a layman. I don't know anything about computers. I cannot code. So what he did, I don't know if I'll be able to do that. But with the prelims point of view, it is super, super helpful. I have like learned, memorized thousands of facts from all over the subjects of GS, thousands of facts, which one would take, a lot of repetitions and they would even forget a lot of them. And another thing, like only use these two buttons, the good and again button, and everyone turn on their FSRS algorithm in all those decks and keep clicking on the evaluate optimize button every month or so. So it changes the parameters, like when you should be seeing the cards next. And only use the good and again button, because Aristotle also mentioned it. If you have to click easy on any card, just suspend that card because it's not worth your time. And that is true, because either you know some card or you don't know. Like either you know it or you don't know it. And if you know it, you don't. And if you know it so well enough that you have to press easy, just suspend it. Like you can look at it in future, but do suspend those cards if like they are super easy, and never click on hard, because in the long run, it's a lot of studies have shown that it's better if you only use those two cards. If you don't know it, press hard, press again. If you know it, press good. never easy or hard. Like rarely maybe easy. Like if some card you want to you want it to be pushed in the future, but not, but still you want to give it a try. And next time maybe you would remember, maybe you won't. So press easy. Otherwise, just these two buttons. And consistency is also key because Aristotle. Yes. True retention is good. You have to like press a shift key and then you get that stats window. Uh, Shashi, Aristotle also mentioned this one thing. I forgot what I was going to talk about. Yeah, so just use these two buttons again and good, and that will give like brilliant results. You'll see in 3, 4, 5 months time. And yeah, with consistency, it's only good. Like Anki will only give you good results if you do it regularly and try to do it around the same time. Like say I do it after waking up in the morning. Like first thing I do Anki. I'm averaging around 50 cards. It was much more in past, but now I'm averaging around 50 cards. It only takes around 10 minutes, like lesser than 10 minutes you have to give. So like do it first thing in the morning also, like allot any one time period and do it in those card in that session, because consistency is key. It's like say some cards were destined to be shown 10 days later and you do them 20 days later, then that cycle of spaced repetition will repeat itself. So the burden will get a lot more and you won't recall as much. So FSRS and these two buttons, good and again, these are brilliant. FSRS has like lessened my load a lot because
Okay.
yeah.
I had actually a question regarding this FSRS. Like I have never used it, so I'm still using the like normal way in which most of the people use. But I have been like quite skeptical how the FSRS would help me.
Yeah. See,
So I just
yeah.
wanted to know from you people, like whosoever has used it till now, like how has been your experience till now?
Yeah, bro. I have like I was also very skeptical about FSRS because I did not know all the nitty gritty of it. But it's
Yes.
fairly simple. Yeah, it's very easy. Just like it is like it is presets wise. You have different presets in your deck options, right? So you can like make a preset of static or make preset of current affairs. So it is preset wise. You go to your deck and then scroll down. There's FSRS. Just turn it on, and then
Mhm.
there's a section called retrievability. Like you have to
Yeah.
set it somewhere around zero point 0.9 or 0.91. Like the higher you set it, the more your
Number of
workload. Yeah,
applications.
the more
Yeah.
your workload will get. The lower you set it, but also don't also put it lesser than 8.
Point.
Like don't yeah point don't put it like zero point 0.7 or something. It
Yeah.
basically just means like if you put it zero point 0.9, it just means that there are 90% chances that you would recall your cards.
Yes.
And if you yeah, so I have put it around 0.92, and that is I think that suits my load balance. So just turn the toggle on, and you need to have at least 400 reviews per those presets for the FSRS to work. Otherwise it won't even turn on. Like it would say error, you need 400 reviews. So you need 400 reviews on those presets and then
Mhm.
turn on the FSRS. If you have 400 reviews, that's well, and then FSRS will be on, and just keep doing those cards. It's that easy. And FSRS has been easy in the sense that now I don't need to do those cards much more often, like the way I used to do. Now I'm doing those cards lesser often, and I'm recalling those cards better. So that has been super helpful. And as I said, there's a thing called I don't know, like evaluate or optimize button. What it does is it changes the parameters based on how you have been recalling those cards and how your learning steps should be in future. So it is advised to optimize those parameters every 45 or 50 days or so, because
Okay.
it learns your patterns, how you have been clicking buttons, good or again.
Yeah.
So yeah, so do turn on FSRS.
Okay. Thanks. Thanks for your review.
Actually, people, yeah, Shahid.
See, it is that link that I shared with Mahesh. It is advised that don't put in stuff in Anki that you have not studied before. Like you should be thorough with the content. You should be understanding all those concepts and then put in the Anki. But I'm having difficulties myself with this regard because I sometimes put stuff in it and I learn it from there only, which is not advised. But I have been doing it due to time crunch. So this I do. Like I go through all the PYQs, or like see, I read geography NCERT class 11 and all the facts that from from all the books that I have read, if I'm not able to recall, like say there are 8 planets in the planet, I don't need to put it in Anki, right? I don't need to put it. But some other stuff like planets that don't have moon, I need to put this fact in Anki. So I'll put that. And I'll even go through PYQs, say take a screenshot, right? Take a screenshot of for the say question and options, put it on the front and then answer what is the right answer and the explanation of it in the back. I do that. Or say if I were at my home, I could share my screen, but unfortunately, or say some paragraph which has a lot of facts. Take a screenshot of that paragraph. Use image occlusion add-on. Now, like with the latest Anki version, it's even like inbuilt. You have default node type called image occlusion, but you have add-on as well. So use the image occlusion, and if it has a lot of facts, occlude those facts. Like say there's a paragraph about Indian freedom struggle, and there are 10 different facts. So hide those. Put the image occlusion, the stripes on it. Hide those 10 facts and learn that. I only use close, front and back for stuff that I don't recall. Image occlusion for some paragraph or some screenshot or some article which has a lot of facts. I use image occlusion on that and hide those facts. This is how I've been going. And anything which I don't recall in a test, say I'm taking a quiz and questions that I get wrong, they directly go into my Anki because those questions are golden questions because I did not recall them. So I need to learn those. So I put that in Anki and go through the options, learn, add, take a screenshot of first page of Wikipedia and put that in Anki as well. So I just, go through them as well. Not as much important, but still important to go through the options and the first Wikipedia, like first paragraph of Wikipedia page. These all have been my trick.
Okay, guys. Anyone wants to show their workflow, or else I'll proceed with my thing. Yeah. Yeah, Shuklaji. Yeah.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah.
Hi, this is Divyendu. I won't be able to share my screen, but will just share like couple of things which I found to be useful while working with Anki in recent times. So basically, I think Aristotle and Schrodinger and others have really captured the true essence of it. I got to learn so many things today. So thank you guys. Kudos for that. And just to add on to those, how I find Anki useful is, so basically my optional is history, and in history optionals, we have the section for maps, all right, which counts for 50 marks in the first paper. It is basically ancient and medieval India sites. So what I do basically is I've gathered resources which are like, which has all the sites of the previous year questions plus along with sample materials. I use those inside. We have these JPEG files of those or PDFs. I then, the first idea is to able to recognize which place it is in the first place, right? Because in the exam, we have just given like a map of India along with some dots, and we'll to recognize which place is it. It doesn't even have the state's boundary sometimes, but yeah, that's the idea in the question paper. So what I do is I use image occlusion and then, try to repeat the entire set at once. As in, let's say there are like 20 sites which has of Buddhist importance in India, and I'm aware of some of those and some of those I'm not aware of. So basically I use image occlusion and then load it into Anki. And then once that is done, I try to remember and also track what I'm not able to remember, and the ones which I'm not able to remember and recall it quickly, I basically tag those and then start again with those. So I know which are those I get often confused with, and I also track what are the things which are not allowing me to recall them correctly? Is it like confusion between the names, or what was the thought process when I'm not able to recollect it at that time? All right. So I make those notes, but those are like not Anki related, but just that I have clarity in my mind what exactly is inhibiting me to recall those. So yeah, that is one for the history optionals. And other is like when we have to remember various sites, like there are Ramsar sites or national parks, or let's say certain important places in news, etc., where we have to go into minute details. So what I do is I basically bifurcate between the things which I'm able to know or able to recognize or differentiate. Like for example, everybody knows where Chilika Lake is or Wular Lake is, right? So you don't need Anki to remind you every time. So I don't count those cards in. I only consider those cards. Like there are two sites in Odisha, Ramsar sites, which are like very special. One is an Oxbow Lake, and other is a part of, I think, it's something else, but it's kind of a differentiator while remembering them, right? So I only create cards for those which I'm not able to recollect. And how do I create cards is I create an Excel sheet. It's mainly a Google Sheets spreadsheet. I mention all the details over there and then add image occlusion again for those inside Google Sheets. So every time it comes, I'm able to recognize if it's from this state or the other one, or if it has some other details associated with or not. So short, too long, but short idea is only create cards for things you are confused with or you're not able to recall. No need to rely on Anki as a primary source to remember everything, because it will create a second kind of brain for you. But instead of that, consider Anki as something which supports your primary brain by remembering things, right? Like it's not the one, you're not totally relying on it, but Anki relies on you, the other way around while trying to solve anything in front of you. So yeah, these are like a few things or a couple of things which I find useful with.
Shuklaji, do you want to present your screen?
I am also outside. I have joined from my iPad, so not able to present exactly. But yeah, I wanted to share those. I'll just I'll send a screenshot once I get home and then share it with the group.
No problem, Shuklaji. We'll do it in the next session.
Oh,
so that you can ready with your laptop and everything.
Certainly,
can share your screen.
It was a last minute thing, so I had to count. But yeah, I was enjoying everything.
Sure. I'll show my screen now. I'll start the session from my side. Guys, is it visible enough?
Yep.
Not actually. Yeah. So these are the things which I want to discuss with you guys. I made a mind map so that you guys can understand a little better. So yeah, first of all, I want to thank a lot of valuable members of this community to make this happen. Actually, Ram, there is a person called Ram, Mentalist, Nifty, all these people, DNJBS, Mansi, Harsh, Pratik, Chahet, Scroninja, Earth Singh, Sachivji, Paista, Sasuke, all of them, like Samriddha, Makotakari. So all these people made this community what we are seeing right now. So a big thanks to them. And big thanks to all of you guys for attending the session. And right now I'll talk about this one, Anki or not Anki. So is it beneficial or not? These are few things which I have picked it up from the Telegram itself, the messages which many of valuable members have sent. You can go through this, as already Aristotle have discussed about this, so I'm not going deeply about it. So what I want to discuss is creating cards. Subjects already Aristotle has been discussed. He has been discussed about it. he has discussed about it. So basically, there are three types of things: basic, close, and image occlusion. Close is for prelims books like PMFIA, Spectrum. It can be useful for that. And basic is for like PYQs. And image occlusion, as Shuklaji has mentioned, monthly magazines, maps, Ramsar sites, everything for all that. And you can see for close, these are all the things. I think it's not probably visible because of the poor pixel quality.
Add-on which connects Anki to Obsidian. So it is automatically
yes.
creating flashcards from Obsidian itself.
We'll talk about it. Shashi. Shahid?
The
Obsidian
learning curve is very small in Obsidian as compared to Notion and other. So yeah, you should give it a try. It's really good.
Will MJ and Shashi, can we have a session on Obsidian and how to integrate with Anki? Can you guys please share your insights with them?
Sure.
Can it be possible?
Yep.
I have not used Obsidian and Anki. I mean, I use Anki and Obsidian, but in an isolated manner. But yeah, I can definitely share my insights on Obsidian.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because I also felt Obsidian is very good.
Yeah.
The graph view also makes it better.
Sorry to interrupt. I even use Notion, but for a study purpose, I mostly focus on
Okay. Yeah. Anybody wants to talk? All right, we'll have a session on Obsidian also. People will discuss. Many of the valuable members will share some insights with us on Obsidian, and it's actually very useful. So now coming back to mains, Aristotle has said one thing, which is in the video, and the other thing is this part where you can manually copy paste the things and use image occlusion also or close also, and by adding extra fields also you can use this for mains. And Ram also discussed about how 3 intros and 3 conclusions and 3 codes and 3 stats will be very useful in the Anki mains. So that's it for the Anki mains. And this is what importing from Excel sheet into the Anki. You can add via Google Sheets and you can import into Anki also. This is also you can create some cards. Actually, Shuklaji have mentioned that he'll create a Google Sheet, questions on the one side and answers on the one side, and he'll include image occlusion on that. That is also one way to do that. And table of content inside the card. I find it very useful. He talked about a particular button called lesson, where you press the button called lesson, you'll come to know where actually you are, or else where what text you're reading. I'll show you. This is that button. I'll zoom it. This is that button called lesson. If you press it, it'll tell you yoga school is in art and architecture or Indian art and culture, something like that, where you can study the schools of philosophy, something like that. We'll talk about this later. I'll ask him how to do this and I'll make him to talk to you also. Actually, I found this lesson part is very useful for us. So basically, you can understand where are we.
Is it a feature of Anki or is it like an add-on or like? Because
he made it, the person called Ram, he made it, and I'll ask him how we should integrate into our Anki also. Basically, I found it very useful.
So it's like an add-on, Anki add-on created by Ram. Right?
I don't know. Okay. Is it add-on or he wrote the script? Yeah.
Cannot we just add another field called lesson and add the information there? Like what purpose does it serve? What Ram has
Actually,
done. Yeah.
he talked about this. He told that less instead of having an extra field called lesson, every time it will ping him. This is what lesson. This is what you're studying right now. He told that instead of every time I look into the lesson, if I can't understand where am I, then I'll be looking into the lesson part.
Okay, right.
If I want.
Okay.
He talked about chapter name and source name and chapter head subheadings should be in the lesson part so that we can understand where are we actually, what are we studying.
Right.
Aristotle talked about mind tree, right? Similar way it works.
Right.
Yeah. And we can know way in which UPSC syllabus are we studying actually. For suppose Ramsar sites, environment, GS3, something like that, prelims, something like that. And chronology of the card sequence. Actually, Schrodinger have actually talked about this. He sometimes will read inside the Anki itself. Instead of remembering it and adding it to the Anki, sometimes even I do that. For suppose I paste a picture, image, and will read it, revise it in the Anki app itself. So sometimes you want to know the chronology. The card has to be one after another. It shouldn't be here and there. You can't know the interconnection between them. So there is a thing called close overlapper, it seems, add-on. We'll be looking into it in the next session. I'm just talking about this. Some people might have already discussed about ChatGPT, right? How can we integrate into Anki? So basically, there is a link on this called Collector Babu, it seems, which some person have actually posted in our group. People may look into this. And there is the other way around. People will say that, listen, you have to create your own cards instead of asking ChatGPT. There are both ways. And it depends upon the prompt which you give to the ChatGPT, which Aristotle have talked about. So instead of asking entirely to the ChatGPT, you have to work on yourself also. Basically, it depends upon your time crunch. So yeah, extra fields in the card. Somebody asked about extra fields, right? This is where we can talk about it. So basically, Harsh talked about this. You have to edit the template via field. You have to write field like this to get into the extra fields, not basically writing PYQs or subtopic like that. And for state PCS, many of us will have a Hindi or Telugu, Tamil, Kannada, Malayalam, which you cannot convert into English. So basically you can copy paste those Hindi or Telugu words and you can just paste it into the Anki. Anki will take it. So yeah, how will you condense so many Anki cards? So basically he talked about this. So you can suspend them. If you feel like it's very easy, you can suspend them. And sometimes few members also talked about this in this group, in this video itself. If you feel it's very easy, it shouldn't be in the card itself. It shouldn't be the card itself. We have to delete it. And there is a system called FRS also, which will ask you whether it's easy, good or bad. It's tough or easy. Only two options will be there. So you can refer to that also. And reviewing cards, if you have an exam nearby, you can use custom decks also, and you can use only two options in them. Simply like FSRS. And there is another question in the group regarding card view duration. Based upon this, you can change the settings where even the easy questions will also be asked within 5 minutes or 4 minutes. which will be very useful for people who will forget things very easily. And yeah, Anki resources, there are so many public decks, and one of the member has mentioned about ultimate geography deck, public deck in the Anki group. You may refer to that. And Anki settings, we have already discussed about FRS, and people will be throwing some light on FRS in the next Anki sessions. And here are some shortcuts to save your time. Instead of pressing keyboard buttons or using mouse, you can use a hotkey or else right click on the mouse to go to the next question, such like that. And add-ons, these are some few add-ons which I have collected from the group. I'll be adding this, maybe you cannot see this. I'll add all this PDF into the Telegram group itself. You can look into that. Add table, advanced browser, batch editing, customize keyboard shortcuts, deck name in title 21, and all this, image occlusion enhanced, progress bar original, where you can assess your progress and review heat map. This is very useful actually. Symbols as you type, auto sync, where you doesn't want to lose your cards, it will auto sync automatically. Leaderboard add-on, this is the add-on number, and close overlapper. These are some add-ons. And switch profiles. You want to start new or sample, you can switch profiles. Many people doesn't know about it. Few people know about this. So yeah, basic Gyan, some people talk about this. Don't make too many cards which you won't revise again and again. And I like this very much. Complete your static before itself, static card before itself, because so many of the current affairs cards will pile up before the examination. Yeah, do not include a lot of information in a single card. Schrodinger actually talked about this. Use only few clauses in a single card. That's what he said, and even Aristotle said. PDF, there is a RAM's PDF which you can look into this. It is available in Telegram itself. And this is very useful for ADHD. People with ADHD can actually benefit from the Anki. Maintaining streak or consistency is very much useful. Actually, Schrodinger have mentioned, he's been doing Anki since 1 year, more than 1 year, and he'll do 50 cards per day. And even included a time when he will be doing. So we'll ask Schrodinger in another session how he's actually doing, and he'll throw some insights too. That's it from my side. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually reached home, but yeah, we'll talk about it all in detail.
Yeah, sure.
Later. Yeah. See, consistency is very important. I think I would suggest do it first thing in the morning. I sometimes even grab my phone and do it first thing in the morning in the bed. Takes only about 10 minutes and then get up. You also feel good you have done your revision and you are thorough with all the concepts that you learned. Wait, I'll how to turn on the camera. Okay, here it is. Is my camera visible?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on.
Yeah.
I'll stop this screen share.
Yeah. See, this I have been doing for how much time? Yeah, see, I'm averaging around 42 days, right? And the streak is of this review heat map add-on which you talked about. This is that. So it gives you sense of accomplishment, see how much days you have done. The lighter it is, the more cards I have done. The darker it is, the lesser cards I have done. See, my current streak is around 445 days. So yes, this is how I do. And the adding cards stuff that I was talking about. See. See, yeah, like PYQs like this. Say this question was asked in SSC, right? As I said, it is very useful. I have been preparing with respect to prelims only. So the question is, who was the chairman of Housing Committee of Constituent Assembly of India? I don't know what is the answer. I don't know, maybe P. Pattabhai Sitaram was. So see, so I have added it with image occlusion add-on. I have hidden these two facts, which is important. One would be the answer. The other would be A.V. Thakkar. Like A.V. Thakkar is in options, right? And I should be knowing A.V. Thakkar founded Bhil Seva Mandal. And see, yeah, this I'll read in the back section. When my like answer will be shown, then I'll see this. And then during independence, who was the president of Indian National Congress? It must be one of these four. I think J.B. Kriplani. So see, I'll answer this question. Like who was the chairman of the Housing Committee of Constituent Assembly of India? And then I'll read A.V. Thakkar founded Bhil Seva Mandal. And then I'll also recall the fact that who was president of Indian National Congress in 47 when India got independence. So J.B. Kriplani. So I learned many facts with one card. See, I only answered one B. Pattabhai Sitaramaiah. I only answered one fact, but I went through 4 different facts here, and then either use good or again based on my assessment, like how I went through the card. So I did not know this fact, so I'll press on again, just like it. It is another card.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, I want to add a few things. Can you able to see this? There is an Anki remote.
Yeah,
which I
yeah,
use for Anki.
Yeah.
This is actually
I saw
very
one photo
useful.
where a guy was doing it on treadmill using this button.
Yeah, it's actually very useful. Instead of using your keyboard or mouse, this basically helps. You can just use your Anki remote if you have monitor as such. Yeah. Anyone wants to contribute anything else?
By the way,
Or-
where can I find that remote?
You can actually order it in Amazon. I'll post the link.
Sure.
It's very useful.
Yeah.
And you have to install Joy remote software, something like
Okay.
that in your PC. Mhm. Any questions, guys? Any insights you want to give about this session, or how it has to be in the next session, how it should be conducted, or anything like that? Shahid? Mhm. Mhm. Yes. MJG?
Yes, I'm like so far it has been satisfactory. I mean, quite insightful session.
Mhm.
So yeah, and in case if you want me to take an Obsidian session, then I would be more than happy to do it.
Sure. Because many people can't understand, even though it's very useful, many people can't understand how actually Obsidian works. So that's the reason I'm asking you.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would request Mahesh, like next time we do it on the Obsidian, like because Anki, like more or less we all went through it, and like session will be shared as well. But Obsidian is overwhelming to a layman. Notion is
Yes.
fairly easy, but
Yes.
If you are saying that Notion is fairly easy.
Sure.
Yeah.
We'll do it on Obsidian. Actually, I want to make a video on iPad also, how iPad can be very useful for integrating into Anki, because I have few softwares which will convert everything into OCR, text format. So I want to talk about that also, but not in this session. Actually, Sayanji actually messaged, thank you for the session, very helpful, just started my Anki journey. Kiran also mentioned that it is very useful. Thank you for attending this session, guys. Sayan, are you there?
Yes, hello.
Are you from Kerala?
Yes.
Okay, nice. Do you anything you want from the? Yeah, tell.
How did you guess that?
I know 5 to 6 languages, Sayan. So not Malayalam. I want to actually learn Malayalam. I'm very fond of it. By the way you speak, I can understand that you're a Malayali.
Okay, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Where are you from,
Yeah,
Mahesh?
I'm from Andhra, so
Oh,
basically
same.
in Bangalore.
State.
అవునా? ఓకే ఓకే. అందరం అందరం ఒకటే. Okay, bro. Anything, Sayan, you want to share your insights on
I'm
the next
fairly new
video?
to Anki, so you guys have much better insight. But I feel like in prelims this is very helpful. In map, the image occlusion is really helpful, and for mains, I feel all those statistics that we need for introduction or conclusion, for all those areas, Anki could be really helpful. But for the main content, I feel the notes, like proper notes, are much better. Overall, wherever there is a lot of data involved, I feel like it's really helpful for memorizing all this data.
Any how it has to be in the next session? Can you? Do you want any type of session in the next session?
I've just started, so I'm not really sure
Okay.
what to suggest, but I'll share anything
What do you
if
want
in
in
the
the
Telegram
next
chat.
session? Oh, sure, sure. Shashi garu,
Yeah, Mahesh.
do you want anything from the next session?
Nope. I'm happy to share all I got.
Sure, Shashi garu. Okay, thanks for attending, guys.
I guess
Thanks for
Mahesh,
being here.
in the next session, I mean, we can like take a poll in the app, and then in the
Okay.
poll we can have few options for the sessions, and then
Okay.
whichever option gets highest votes, then that session can be taken next time.
Sure. This is actually very useful for us also, not for specific person. It is actually we're having nice insights when we are here. Thanks for having us. Thanks for being here. Any
Yeah.
doubts? Any suggestions?
No, thanks for being a good host.
Okay, thank you. శశి గారు వెళ్ళొస్తానండి. Thank you.
All right. Thank
Thank
you,
you, guys.
Mahesh. Thank you,
Thanks,
Mahesh.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.